Okay, so you sent me this Reddit thread, and wow. It's got a newborn, a toddler, covered in spit, apparently, and a dad who's maybe got a second wife. Is that right?
That's pretty much the opening scene, yeah. It's a story from user Parking Battle 9018. Originally posted on AITA. That was April 6th, 2025.
Right. Am I the asshole?
Well,
classic.
Exactly. And then there's an update later on our Best of Redditor updates. So our plan here is, to unpack it, figure out the key stuff without just drowning in comments.
Gotcha. So, like a deep dive. Why this one? What's the big question we're digging into?
Well, the core of it really is the wife, the original poster, justified in thinking about divorce? I mean, her husband left their very young kids.
Yeah.
A newborn and a toddler with their 13-year-old daughter.
Okay, wait. He just left them.
Yep. Left them so he could go out with another woman.
Oh, boy. Okay.
So, yeah, there are some trigger warnings here. We're talking infidelity, definitely emotional manipulation, potential child neglect, and some serious gaslighting attempts.
Yikes. Okay, so set it up. How did this whole thing kick off? It started with the wife wanting a break, right? A me day.
Exactly. She told her husband she was feeling overwhelmed, needed some time. This was April 1st.
April Fool's Day. Oh, the irony.
Right. He agreed she could go out. She planned it out.
What did she do?
Had lunch with her mom and sister, did a little shopping, got her nails done. The works.
Nice. Sounds deserved.
Totally. She left around 1 p.m., figured she'd be back around 6 p.m.
And the husband's job was?
He was supposed to be home. They couldn't get a babysitter on short notice. So it was him, the 13-year-old, the 2-year-old, and the newborn.
Okay. The home team.
That was the plan. But technology intervened. Enter the Ring camera.
Ah, the silent witness. Always the Ring camera.
Isn't it just... So around 5:50 p.m., her phone pings. Ring notification.
Okay.
She calls him. He answers, says, well, he's just stepping out to grab pizza.
Pizza, the ultimate dad cover story.
Right. Then another notification around 6 p.m., but she doesn't get home right away. The nail salon took longer than expected, than traffic. So she actually walks in the door around 8 p.m.
2 hours later than planned.
Okay.
And she gets home expecting, what, maybe some leftover pizza crust?
Maybe, but instead, his car isn't there.
Oh.
She goes inside, and it's bad.
How bad?
Toddler just playing, covered in their own spit.
Oh, gross.
Newborn screaming, like completely inconsolable. And the 13-year-old daughter in tears, totally overwhelmed, trying to calm the baby down, but she just can't.
Oh, that poor kid. Seriously. What did she say happened? Where was dad?
She said her dad just told her, watch the kids, I have something important to do, and then left. She had no idea where he went or when he'd be back.
Something important. More important than his newborn and toddler.
Wow. And apparently he just vanished, leaving her totally alone with him. You can just imagine how scared and stressed she must have been.
Absolutely. Okay, so when does Mr. Important finally grace them with his presence?
He gets back around 10 p.m.
10 p.m., so hours later.
Yeah, hours. And he seems, a bit drunk.
Naturally. And his explanation.
Okay, get this. She asks where he's been, and he just casually says he was out with his wife.
Hold on. His wife? Did he mean her or?
Nope. The implication was definitely someone else. And he said they had a good time, acting like this was all perfectly normal.
My jaw is on the floor. Seriously, he just said that.
Said that like it was nothing.
Okay, so the next day, there has to be a confrontation, right? She can't just let that slide.
Oh, yeah. She confronts him. His first story. He claims he fell asleep at 7:35 p.m.
Which she knows is a lie because
this is the Ring camera, the kids being alone, him coming home late, the whole thing. She tells him she knows he was out and she knows he was with another woman.
Good for her. Did she talk to anyone else? Get some backup?
Yeah, she reached out to her own mom and also her mother-in-law.
Okay. And what did his mom say? Let me guess. Boys will be boys.
You're depressingly close. She called it a mild mistake.
Mild. Leaving an infant and toddler with a stressed teenager to go out drinking with another woman is mild.
Apparently. She also said it was a common mistake for men and told the wife she should just move past it, for the kids' sake.
Oh, the classic guilt trip. Unbelievable. Protecting her son over the safety of her grandkids. Wow.
Yeah. Pretty shocking lack of support there.
So the wife posts this online, gets feedback, but the story doesn't end there, right? There was an update.
Right. The update came, I think, April 22nd. So after the first post on April 6th, things apparently went back and forth between them.
He didn't just confess immediately then. Shocker.
Not at all. She actually showed him the Ring footage. Proof. Yeah. Proof he left. Proof he lied about the timeline.
And even then.
Still making excuses, just wouldn't own up to it. It's like classic gaslighting, trying to make her doubt what she literally saw on video.
That takes some serious nerve.
Right. So she finally lays it out. Ultimatum time.
Yeah.
Tell the truth, the whole truth, or we're getting divorced.
And his response, more deflection.
Bingo. More denial. He even flips it on her, accusing her of not trusting him.
Oh my God. The audacity.
Then he tries to backtrack on the his wife comment from the night he came home drunk.
Yeah.
Says, oh, I was drunk. I didn't mean it.
But she called him out on that too, right? Like being drunk wasn't exactly a great excuse given the circumstances.
Exactly. She pointed out how incredibly irresponsible it was to get drunk when he was supposed to be the responsible adult caring for tiny children. Drunk or not, he said it. And he did leave.
So did the truth ever come out fully?
Eventually, finally, on April 19th, he admitted it.
Admitted what? All of it.
Admitted he was seeing another woman.
Yeah.
And yes, admitted he called her his second wife.
Wow. Just wow. And then did he apologize? Beg for forgiveness?
Nope. He gave her an ultimatum back.
You cannot be serious. What was his ultimatum?
Basically. Except that I have this other woman, this second wife, or our marriage is over.
He told his wife to accept his affair or he'd end the marriage.
That's what happened. Total manipulation. Putting the blame and the decision back on her after he was the one who cheated and lied.
So what did she do? What did she say to that?
She basically said, okay, fine. Let the marriage be over then. But she made it crystal clear that he is the one responsible for this, for the impact it's going to have on their kids.
Good for her. Standing her ground. Okay, but there was another detail that came out. Something about the daughter's phone. That part really stuck with me.
Oh, yeah. That was chilling. It came out that when he left the 13-year-old in charge, he took her cell phone with him.
He took her phone. Why would he do that?
We don't know for sure, but the implication is pretty clear, right? He didn't want her calling the wife. He didn't want her calling for help if something went wrong. He wanted to ensure his time out wouldn't be interrupted.
That is horrifying. That's not just neglect. That's actively endangering them by cutting off their lifeline. She couldn't call 911, couldn't call her mom, nothing.
Exactly. It takes the whole thing to another level of deliberate selfishness and, frankly, potential danger.
So just to recap the timeline, April 1st is the me day and when he leaves. April 6th is the first Reddit post. April 19th is the confession, and April 22nd is the update post.
Correct. It all unfolded over a few weeks.
And the emotional fallout, I mean, for the wife, obviously, but also for that poor teenage daughter being put in that position, lied to, her phone taken.
Devastating. Absolutely devastating. And the wife mentioned somewhere that he used to be her rock, especially when they were struggling with fertility issues.
Ugh. That just makes the betrayal cut even deeper, doesn't it?
For sure. It paints a picture of a complete breakdown of trust from someone she relied on.
What were people on Reddit saying? I imagine the comments were pretty fiery.
Oh, overwhelmingly supportive of the wife. People were calling the husband, well, let's just say some very unflattering names. Lots of advice to lawyer up immediately.
Yeah, I bet.
And a huge amount of concern for the kids, especially the teenager. People recognize how messed up that situation was for her.
Good. Sometimes the internet gets it right. Is the wife taking practical steps now, besides, deciding the marriage is likely over?
Yeah, she mentioned in the update she was planning to get an STD test.
Smart. Essential, unfortunately.
And making sure she had copies of the ring footage, text messages, all of that. Documenting everything.
Very smart. Okay, so let's boil it all down. Forget the excuses that he said, she said. What are the absolute undeniable facts here?
Fact. The husband knowingly left a newborn toddler and a 13-year-old alone. Fact. He took the teenager's only means of communication, her phone. Fact. He did this to go out with another woman he later referred to as his second wife. Fact. He lied about it repeatedly, even when confronted with video evidence.
Woo! Laid out like that. It's pretty damning. Okay, so listening to all this, what hits you the hardest? If you had to pick one thing that's the absolute worst part of this whole mess, is it the cheating, the lying, putting the kids at risk?
For me, taking the phone, that deliberate act of cutting off help, it just shows such a profound level of self-absorption and disregard for his own children's safety. That's the part that really gets me. The cheating is bad, the lying is bad, but endangering the kids like that, that's something else.
Yeah, I think I agree. So, final thought here. Think about the ripple effects. When trust is broken this badly, especially between parents, what does that do to a family long term? What kind of message does that send to those kids watching this unfold? It's more than just some wild internet drama, right? It's a real life example of how choices like these can just shatter everything.
Absolutely. The trust is gone, not just between the husband and wife, but potentially between the father and his children too. Rebuilding that, if it's even possible, that takes years, maybe a lifetime. It's a really sobering look at the consequences.